All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down, Willis. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 1st and 10, Willis is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. Operating from the gun, Willis. And going deep for Hill. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the gun on third down, Willis. Pass the and now off to the races down the right side. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on third down. Willis looking deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on it. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 26-yard line.
Let's go! Grand 38!
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Again to Elliott, and an alley to run. Zeke with a shake and bake, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand,
and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Green 39.
From the gun, Willis. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Lucky 56.
On fourth down, Willis. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And you don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ohio. Ohio. Flex round. Flex round. Ohio. Ohio.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Little. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards. On 1st down, Little. He'll rifle this one deep right side and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Throwing again, Little. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there? Swarming to it and not allowing that to happen. Did not let him get downfield.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Raekwon McMillan able to drop him for a loss of 12. And it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They run with Hunt. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Hunt. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. Willis. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Anthony Barr. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Willis. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. From the gun on third down, Willis. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now he'll throw deep left side. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
This quarterback now has hit on 7 of 17 passes, just 41%, but it's 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Willis. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 1st and 10, Willis. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They'll run it here with Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw. Willis. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And Butker able to put this one through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Ohio. Hey.
Off the play fake. Little. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Houston. 64 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense,
it's a foot race. He's at the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. 74 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
The extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. On third down, Little. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain of 39 on third. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, Little. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, Little. Escape under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Little. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Little. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. To throw from his end zone. Willis over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now let's go.
Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on third down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A big play on third down for the Chiefs. 49 yards.
Watch him now, Barney.
Throwing on first down. Willis looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw on second down. Willis. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And now past another. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he finds a man. That's Watkins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Throwing to start the drive. Little breaks through the contact. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Off play action. Little trying to lay one up deep. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to throw. Little throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilkins. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Little. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
And now here comes Kansas City. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go.
To throw on 2nd down, Willis. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Tight right. Hey, we got 4. Got 4 now.
Off play action. Little. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Shifts by him and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
He's going to get it running right. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On 3rd down, that's Black. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, It defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Willis. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Willis flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the kick by Butker is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Check. Crunch.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
57, Mike, 57.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill from 19 yards away. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A first down carry by Elliott. What a spin. There he goes inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Elliott, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Texans will extend their lead. And his kick is right through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out come the Chiefs now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first carry for their fullback. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
Now it's Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it looks like he'll throw here. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to avoid him at the 40. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Little. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They go to Elliott again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.